Lesson 5.5, we're going to talk about absolute value inequalities. Okay. On Friday, we had that little Desmos activity that you guys did. It didn't work out very well because of difficulties with that, but that's why we're doing it again today. Okay. Absolute value inequalities obviously have absolute values in them. Okay. What are the two possible solutions for an absolute value? Positive or negative, right? Because no matter what you plug in for M, it's always going to end up what? Positive. Even if you plug a negative into there, it's still going to end up positive, right? So we're going to have two cases. Remember when we did absolute values with equations a couple chapters ago? We had two cases. Same thing with these, but it's a little bit different with the inequality. Okay. So case one, do we remember what case one is with absolute values? Remember, case one is always going to be the same as what you already have. Okay. Case two, take some guesses on what case two is going to be.
Negative.
What's going to be negative? The two. So, good guess. Remember we said there's two different options, positive or negative? So I'm going to make that left side negative. After this, we go through it, you'll find an easier way to do it. Okay? We want to get rid of that negative. How do I get rid of a negative? You can multiply it by negative or divide. I'm going to divide by a negative 1. Divide by a negative 1. What happens when we divide by a negative? Sign flips. That's our case 2. So what happened? What changes from case 1 to case 2? Sign flipped and the answer is negative. Okay, so case 1 stays the same. Case 2, sign flips, answer flips. From if it's positive 11, it went to negative 11, and then the sign just flipped. Okay, if it helps, you can go through this step to make sure you do it right, or you can just know sign flips for the inequality, sign flips for the number. Okay, now it's what we've always done. Just solve for both of them. So on both of them, what do I have to do to get M by itself? There we go. Subtract 2. M is less than 9. Subtract 2 again over here. We have M is greater than negative 13. Okay. Now last step always with these is what? Graph them. Okay, I'm going to put negative 13 over here, put 9 over here. Open or close dot on 9. Where is it going? To the left. Open or closed on 13. Open going to the right. What kind of statement is that? And or? And. Why is it and? Because they intersect. Yep. That's it. So really, the only thing that's different is with absolute value is what? What do you have to be careful with absolute value? The two cases, right? The case 1 and then the case 2. What's the difference from case 1 to case 2? Someone tell me.
Negative.
What's negative? Yep, your answer is negative. What happens to the sign? It flips to its opposite. Okay? Go ahead and try this one for me. Start with your case 1 and case 2, and then solve and graph. When we see absolute values, what do we have to think of? What's our first step with absolute values? Case 1 and case 2. What's case 1 always? Keep it the same, right? Oh, I don't want red. Case 1, you always keep it the same. Just drop the absolute value bars. Case 2, left side stays the same, or whatever side your variable's on. What happens to the sign? Flips to its opposite. What happens to that negative 2? Becomes a positive 2. Questions on the two different cases? Are we okay with the case 1 and case 2? Yes? Okay. From here, it's some stuff we've always done. What do I do? Yeah, we just solve for y. We add 1 over. So we have y is less than negative 1. Add 1 on this side. We have y is greater than 3. What's my last step with these? graph. So I have -1 and I have 3. Open or closed on -1? Open going to the left. Open or closed on 3? Open going to the right. What kind of statement is that? And or? Or, why or?
Because they're going away from each other.
Because they're split, they're going away from each other. Good. Walk around this time. Check. Write your 2 different cases for this one. I'm going to walk around, make sure we all got it right, and we're on the right track. What's first step with absolute values? What do we do first? Write the 2 cases. What's the case 1? Stays the same. Not red. Stays the same. What's case 2?
Flip your sign and make the sign without the variable negative.
Yep. Flip our sign and then make the number negative. Okay. Walking around, those are awesome. Do we have any questions on the 2 cases? No. Okay. What's our next step with both? Solve for n, so we want to subtract 6 on both sides. So I have 3n is greater than or equal to 6. If I subtract 6 on this side also, we have 3n is less than or equal to -18. What's my next step? Divide by 3. So we have n is greater than or equal to 2. Divide by 3 over here. We have n is less than or equal to -6. Everyone get here.
I just didn't do I understand.
Okay. Last step is to what? Graph. So I have -6 and 2. Make sure when you graph, you put them in least to greatest order. Okay, make sure they're in the form of least to greatest. Open or closed on 6? -6. Closed. Open or closed on 2? Closed. Where's -6 going? Left or right? -6. -6 is going left. 2 is going right. And or? Or because they're going away from each other. Okay? Sure. Any questions on this example? Okay. Okay, let's try absolute value. The absolute value of 4x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 10. Remember the steps? Write your 2 cases, solve for x on both of them, and then graph. Okay, what's step 1 with absolute values?
Rewrite the thing.
Write your cases. What's case 1?
4x plus 2.
Stays the same. 4x plus 2 is greater than or equal to 10. What's case 2?
Flip the sign, make the number negative.
Flip the sign, make the number negative. Everyone pay attention. What's in the absolute value stays the same. That never changes. What changes is your sign flips and the sign of your number flips. Just like the absolute values with equations did. Okay, the only difference is that sign's flipping now. Okay? Questions on that? Okay, what's my first step? Subtract 2. We have 4x is greater than or equal to 8. What's my last step? Divide by 4. X is greater than or equal to 2. Same thing on the other one. What's my first step? Subtract 2. We have 4x is less than or equal to -12. Divide by 4. X is less than or equal to -3. Is everyone okay with that step 2?
Yes.
All right, step 3 is what? Graph. Do I just write them straight down, or would I have to be careful with?
Least to greatest.
Yep. -3 is over here. 2 is over here. Remember, it's your number line. Looking at 2, open or closed? Closed. In which direction?
To the right.
To the right. What about -3? Closed to the left. Is this and or? Or because they don't touch. They're going separate ways. Any questions on absolute values before I let you do some practice?
No.